Hey, it's Lola and welcome to or back to my channel. It's been a while since I've made a vlog on this channel. I feel like I say that every time I make a video on this channel now. I do have a separate channel where I post just vlogs, like daily type vlogs when I feel up to it. But I wanted to make this vlog because it's a bit of a positive type of video. Recently I have been struggling with my mental health. It's around this time of year that I struggle, and I let things build up and it all got a bit on top of me, and I had to remember to do a mental health reset. I had to remember to not be so hard on myself. In all of my DBT skills, I forgot the one that was self-validation. Self-validation is something that I am still learning. It's something that I'm still trying to process. It's something that is very, very needed as well. And I had to kind of sit down with myself and stop being so hard on myself, because yes, I know this time of year is tough. And I had been crying a lot and getting quite emotional, and I had to validate that I am going to feel like that around this time of year, and that is totally okay. And I had to remind myself not to be so hard on myself, because I get so angry because I'm in emotion. And I think because when I get too emotional about things, I feel like I'm back at square one, and I'm not back at square one because I'm currently in recovery. I'm doing really well. I had to get all of my self-soothe stuff out and have a day of proper self-care and self-soothe, and I did everything that I needed to do. I did my whole makeup self-care routine. I did my whole skincare routine. I read, I did a lot of reading. I played Disney Dreamlight Valley because that's one of my favourite ever games right now. TV shows on like Being Erica and My Mad Fat Diary and Sarah Jane Adventures, things that are my comfort shows. If anyone right now who is watching this and is currently really struggling, remember to do a mental health reset. Remember to just self-validate yourself. Like, honestly, don't be so hard on yourself. You are doing the best that you can do right now, and I am so proud of you, and you need to be so proud of you. What comes along with mental health reset is the reminder of the year, and I had to make a list in my head of all the things that I've accomplished this year. I spent 4 weeks in hospital at the beginning of this year. Bearing in mind I am agoraphobic, and that was a massive deal for me. I then lost my dad in February, and that was a really hard thing that I had to go through, and it's something that I still haven't processed at all. But grieving is like that. You feel like you're getting somewhere, and then you feel like you're back at square one, and then sometimes with grief it doesn't hit you. I have had griefs where it just didn't hit me, and I've had griefs that it hit me all too hard, and this has been one of those griefs where it hit me. And then I spent the next few months, I planned the funeral, I then started planning my wedding, and I got married, and that really took over the year, and it was an amazing part of the year, and one of the best things that I'll ever go through in my life. One of the best things I'll ever experience in my life is that I got married. It was a beautiful experience, and I have to remind myself with that as well. 12 months ago, I would not have handled the anxiety or the stress of planning a wedding. I would not have managed to be around that many people and not feel completely overwhelmed and just want to go back to bed and pretend like the world isn't real, and pretend the world isn't happening. That is what my life looked like. Anything that was overwhelming, I'd go to bed and just cut it off because it was too overwhelming for me. I had a wedding. I got married and I had a wedding and I celebrated with friends and family, and I was able to do that. And I am so proud of myself. Not only did I get married, I finished my DBT group therapy. I completed it. I never thought I would end up completing DBT. I never thought that DBT would work for me. I went along with it because I wanted to prove to the community mental health team that I was doing what they tell me to do, and I wasn't going to be cut off. And I thought, well, if I do it and it doesn't work, it is what it is. Well, there's no loss there. But it worked. DBT worked for me, and I will never ever be able to thank the DBT team enough. I'm still under my one-to-one DBT therapist, which ends in January. So I've only got a couple of more sessions left. I go 4 weeks without an appointment, and then I see her for my last session on the 22nd, I think it is. So there's that. I've also been under exposure therapy, or graded exposure, and that finishes in a couple of sessions time as well. So that is a massive change, and I was so hard on myself. From someone who struggled to go out the front door, I'm a lot further than I was. I might not be as far as I thought I would be, or how I wanted to be, or how I expected myself to be, but I have come a long way. And I'm waiting on, and when DBT comes to an end, I then am waiting on the dissociative disorder service, which will entail assessment to get in, and trauma therapy, which I've been waiting for a long time. And the biggest update for me at the minute mentally is this morning I had a meds review with a psychiatrist. I had an appointment with this psychiatrist about a month ago, and he didn't agree with me coming off my meds. And I'm a bit of a people pleaser. I'm very polite. I didn't stand my ground on what I wanted, and that it's my body and my mind, and yeah, I wasn't happy with the decision. So I phoned up the community mental health team and I said I really want another meds review, and today was the meds review. And beforehand I wrote a Dear Man script, and beforehand I wrote a Dear Man script, and yeah, he agreed that he agreed for me to come off my meds. It's not going to be straight away, it's going to be a slow progress. I was on 150 of what I take, and he's downing it to 100, and then he's going to down it to 50, and then when it gets to 50 it's not going to be slow release, because they don't do slow release of my medication. So yeah, this is such a massive step in my recovery, and I can't express how excited I am. I don't know if that sounds really lame, that I'm excited to come off medication, but this is my mental health, and this is a massive, massive step. I was so over the moon about it. I have to remember, although there are times that are tough, especially around Christmas time, I will always have my, you know, my emotions, and sometimes things are gonna feel a lot worse than others, and that's okay. I just need to look after myself and yeah, just validate myself. And if anyone is watching this and is currently going through a really bad time and it doesn't feel like anything's gonna get better, I hope that you can take some sort of positivity and hope from this video. And I never thought that I would ever get better or start recovering. I really didn't, and this isn't just me saying it, because I've watched videos, I've watched TikToks of people recovering when I was really unwell, and I thought, well, that's not realistic, that's not gonna happen, like, this isn't real. But I promise you so much that it's real. I never thought that this would be me. I never thought it would be possible. Recovery isn't linear. It's not a straight line. It really isn't. You're still gonna have bumps in the road. But with therapy and medication and with support, it gets better. You find coping mechanisms, healthy coping mechanisms, not stuck in relapse and self-harm and addiction. There is light at the end of the tunnel, I promise you that. I really do. But yeah, like I said, if anyone is struggling and feeling lonely around this time of year, feel free to message me anytime, any day. I'm always here for anyone that needs the support. I'll link my socials underneath, so always send me a message and I'll reply to you. But yeah, if I don't see you again on this channel, Merry Christmas everyone, and let's have a happy new year.